Good morning, this is Rashad Mitchell coming to you live from my YouTube channel as I continue my part series. The week that was college football history review, the 1979 college football, the 1976 college football season, week 9, November 6th. This is week 9, let's get into it. Rutgers beat Louisville 34 to nothing. Louisville represented step up in class for Scarlet Knights, who handled visitors with ease, as Rutgers, who was 9-0, pulled out all stops, scoring first on reverse by wide receiver Mark Tweedy, and before first half ended on a 35-yard pass to defensive back turned wide receiver Henry Jenkins. Used on no huddle play with 27 seconds left in the second quarter, spirited Rutgers defense never gave Gardner a chance to organize. Even when Louisville recovered three Rutgers fumbles in the first quarter, running backs like Mark Lassiter and Glenn Kohler rushed for 94 yards each for Knights, while Louisville tailback Calvin Prince struggled to gain 48 yards. Georgia upset. No, this was about two top 10 teams, beg your pardon. Number 7 Georgia beat number 10 Florida 41 to 27 in Jacksonville. The cocktail party fans had a fascinating game to watch as both teams entered with top 10 rankings. Quarterback Ray Goff was different as he led the Bulldogs to 28 points in the second half, rushing for 124 yards and 3 touchdowns. Florida built 27-13 halftime lead before collapsing during the game's final 30 minutes. The Bulldogs scored a touchdown on first possession of the third quarter. Florida faced 4th and 1 from own 29-yard line. Surprise Gators went for first down. The Bulldog safety Johnny Henderson made tackle for halfback Earl Carr that set up tying 2-yard touchdown run by fullback Al Pollitt. When I was running the play, I was asking myself why in the world we were running this play, said Carr after the game. Halfback Kevin McLeod rushed for 198 yards to lead the Bulldogs running game that totaled 432 yards, while quarterback Jimmy Fisher, wide receiver Wes Chandler, hooked up on 2 touchdown passes for Florida. Georgia Tech upset number 11 Notre Dame 23-14. Week after 31-7 loss to Duke, the Old Jackets returned to their wishbone offense, made wreck of vaunted Irish defense with 368 yards rushing. As Georgia Tech defense got into Act 2, holding Notre Dame to 34 yards total offense and 4 first downs in the second half, as Tech scored the last 20 points of the game. Key drive occurred with less than 2 minutes left in the first half when Tech marched 84 yards to 8-yard touchdown run by freshman quarterback Gary Lanier. Now that cut the deficit to 14-10. So the turning point on the drive was 46 yards in the round run by wide receiver Drew Hill. Tailback David Sims tallied 122 yards rushing and scored twice in the second half and becoming Georgia Tech's career rushing leader. Jackets coach Pepper Rogers received a 3-year extension from his alma mater after the 3-1 upset. Speaking of upsets, number 1 Michigan was no longer number 1 no more because Purdue upset Michigan, number 1 team in the country, 16-14. The roadblock for number 1 Michigan's title aspirations was supposed to be Ohio State, as the Wolverines had not lost to any other member of the Big Ten since 1969. But as kicker Bob Woods' 37-yard field goal attempt at game's end sailed wide, so too did Michigan's championship hopes. Purdue tailback Scott Durkin rushed for the 162 yards and 2 touchdowns, while kicker Rock Supan booted winning the 23-yard field goal with 4 minutes left. Michigan had scored first on an 8-yard touchdown run by quarterback Rick Leach before Boilermakers answered with scoring runs of 4 yards and 25 yards by Durkin. Now, Purdue now led 13-7 and used goal line stand early in the third quarter to preserve the lead. Now, Wolverines broke through our next series as Leach tossed 64 yards, scoring past the wingback Jim Smith. Now, after gaining possession on turnover, Michigan marched again until tailback Rob Lytle, who had 153 yards on 21 carries, 153 yards, lost the fumble on Boilermakers' 29-yard line, which launched the long drive to Supan's winning field goal. Meanwhile, Houston, number 19 team in the country, beat number 20 Texas in a shutout 30-0. The Cougars put stamp on the debut Southwest Conference season with a lopsided win over traditional conference juggernaut. After facing Florida's and Texas A&M's wishbone attacks, Houston was more than ready for struggling Longhorn offense, minus injured fullback Earl Campbell. Texas finished with 24 yards rushing. Horn's lowest total ever, while suffering worst conference loss in tenure of coach Darrell Royal. Cougars racked up 370 yards with 267 yards on the ground. Run back Alois Blackwell made 7-yard touchdown run to cap a 79-yard drive that began after defensive back Elvis Bradley's end zone interception had snuffed out Texas early and only scoring opportunity, while receiver Alfred Jackson was Steelers' offensive star with 93 yards receiving on 6 catches and receptions, but he couldn't solve pain of end of Texas' 42-game home winning streak. Nebraska, number 9 team in the country, beat number 13 Oklahoma State 14-10. Quarterback Vince Ferragamo twice tossed two second half touchdowns to lead Nebraska past upstart Cowboys. Now halfback Terry Miller had 149 yards, 30 carries, played well in defeat, but Oklahoma State hardly could finish its drives. Cowboys caught 3-0 lead at halftime, 37-yard field goal by kicker Abby Daigle. He later went up to 10-7 in third quarter on Miller's 15-yard touchdown run. Ferragamo overcame 2 interceptions to throw a 34-yard touchdown run to wide receiver Chuck Malito and 6-yard score to tight end Ken Spaeth. Oklahoma State rushed for 291 yards, number that would have been higher if not for Nebraska linebacker Clete Pillen's 30 tackles. Wyoming beat Arizona 26-24 as the Cowboys of Wyoming beat Arizona 26-24 as the Cowboys moved step close to Fiesta Bowl with win. Wyoming halfback Latrell Jones took opening kickoff 81 yards to set up his 1-yard touchdown dive. Wildcats answered as quarterback Mark Lunsford threw for 358 yards and 3 touchdowns. Interception, 15 of 29 passing. Final wide receiver Keith Hartwig, who had 203 yards receiving on 8 catches for 44-yard touchdown pass. Now the Cowboys of Wyoming regained the lead on 56-yard run by fullback Robbie Wright. 144 yards rushing, 22 carries. Before Lunsford threw 2 more touchdown passes, Wright scored again on a 6-yard run to cap an 18-yard drive that nibbled Arizona's 21-18 halftime margin. Wyoming converted fumble by Wildcats tailback Derrick Anderson on first play of third quarter, moving 23 yards to Jones' 2-yard touchdown run. Set for successful field goal, Cats spent drive after drive in Cowboys territory, only to fail on downs or miss field goal until reaching Wyoming 5-yard line when time expired. And finally, Southern California, the number 4 team in the country, beat Stanford 48-24. With Troy tailback Ricky Bell out with ankle injury, Southern California showed another side of its offense with 5 touchdown passes, 4 by quarterback Vince Evans. From game's third play, 59-yard bomb to wide receiver Shelton Diggs, who had 100 yards receiving on 3 catches and 3 touchdowns, route was on, and tally reached 34-3 by halftime. Although Stanford defense keyed on Trojans tailback Charles White early, youngster still rushed for 136 yards, 2 touchdowns. The Cardinals of Stanford were not able to score a touchdown until trailing 41-3 as USC defense excelled with cornerback Ricky Odom leading away with 3 interceptions. The Cardinals quarterback Guy Benjamin threw for 144 yards, while quarterback Mike Cordova came off the bench to hit 6 for 6, 74 yards. It's like who's look at Week 9, the games that were played on November 6, 1976, Week 9 of the college football season. Let's get into the AP poll. November 8th, AP poll. Number 20 was South Carolina. Number 19, Colorado. 18, Notre Dame. 17, Oklahoma State. 16, Texas A&M. 15, Florida. 14, Oklahoma. Number 13, Arkansas. 12, Houston. 11, Missouri. The top 10 roundout is this: 10, Alabama. 9, Nebraska. 8, Ohio State. 7, Georgia. 6, Maryland. The top 5 roundout is this: Texas Tech, number 5. Michigan, number 4. Number 3, Southern California. Number 2, UCLA. And number 1 was the Pittsburgh Panthers. That concludes look at Week 9. The games that were played on November 6, 1976, Week 9 Please like, subscribe, and comment on the channel to reveal this magnitude tomorrow. Until then, talk to you soon.